Good afternoon, family. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Today is April 4th, 2022. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of achieving a healthy weight. If you do enjoy my videos, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also, click on the bell icon so you get notified when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me on the live streams, which is generally 4 p.m. on weekdays. You, Outside of my live streams, you could also join our Discord channel, and you could reach out to me through the Discord channel. The link for that is down in the description below. Also, down in the description below, there is a link to our Pinterest board, which has a lot of the meals and recipes that we enjoy on our whole food plant-based diet. Today is day 520 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, I've gone from 519 pounds to 307.8. So I've lost over 110 pounds so far. And I have 19 more months to go. I'm looking forward to getting to my goal weight within the next, hopefully, 8 or 9 months, and then maintaining that weight loss throughout 2023. Switching over to the main page here. Oh my God, I'm so busy today. I didn't have a chance to make a thumbnail. I didn't have a chance to do any prep for the stream or do anything. I was from 10 o'clock this morning up until 2 minutes ago. I was either in meetings or on the phone. I feel like my face is extremely red. I don't know why. Looks really red on this camera, but maybe not so much on the stream. Who knows? But and my hair's a mess. Oh my gosh, I just look horrible, folks. Don't look at me. Um, so yeah, I was on the phone right up until I hit the go live button, and I had to do everything on the fly here. So, like I said, I hope everybody had a great weekend. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. I'd love to hear how you're doing on your diets. Are you succeeding on your diet? Are you failing on your diet? What are you doing to start your diet or get back on track? You know, what hurdles are keeping you from getting going? And what are you doing to make going on your diet easier or sticking to your diet easier than the alternative? Uh, yeah, this weekend was fairly busy, I guess. I don't know that we had anything major going on in hindsight. Again, zero show prep, so I can't even hardly think of the food we had to eat this weekend. I know we had a autumn loaf yesterday that Carrie made. It had a lot of carrots in it. It was amazing. It was really enjoyable. And I it had just like this enough sweetness to it. And then I was really nervous about it because it was very dry. Generally, when we have our meals, there's some sort of sauce or there's something in with it. And this was not the case. I do have a photo of it here I can pop up. So it was cooked in a loaf, sort of like a meatloaf. And then I took just regular brown rice and corn and then mixed it all together to kind of make a meal. And that was, again, that was amazing. I probably gained 5 pounds in rice just because I had 2 plates of that. And it was just, like I said, it had that little bit of stuffing flavor, you know, that like if you think of Thanksgiving stuffing, and just kind of really good flavors overall. So that was dinner yesterday. Um, Friday night, I also took a picture of Friday night's dinner. That's this here. This was a pineapple and rice. I had a lot of rice this weekend. Again, it's so amazing. The amount of rice that I had this weekend, if you added it all together, would probably equal more rice than I had consumed in the previous 5 years. That is just the craziest thing to me. For me to sit here and say I had a meal that had rice in it and I loved it, and then to do that twice in one weekend is just extremely out of character for me from the Jonathan that was 520 pounds. And so this is just a picture of that. The pineapples were amazing. I did have 2 bowls of this. Of course, Carrie gave away all the pineapples to the kids before there was pineapple mixed into it, but I added some more pineapple to it just to add sweetness and flavor to it. And um also I think that we had cumin, maybe. It was a spice that we added to this as well. So that was Friday's dinner and Sunday's dinner. I believe Saturday I know we had mega veggie chili on Saturday, and that was also amazing, but I did not take a photo of that because I think I have 1,000 photos of mega veggie chili in my phone already. Carrie's saying that we're having curried red beans and rice for dinner tonight. So rice again for dinner tonight. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I absolutely enjoy having rice, and I look forward to having curried red beans and rice for dinner tonight. And I am starving because I kind of, how with the scale, can't let the scale drive you too crazy, but you do need to use it as a tool to help monitor your weight loss. And last week, I only lost 0.4 of a pound. So me and the scale are not friends right now. And I'm trying to, beat the scale. I'm trying to lose weight. That's all part of this. I'm trying to figure out how to eat large portions of food and still get on the scale and lose weight. And so this weekend, I kind of was, because I feel like if I worked 7 days a week, sorry, Carrie, if I worked 7 days a week, I wouldn't have a problem with losing weight. It's the 2 days that I spend at home on Saturday and Sunday that really cause the issues with the peaks and valleys of my weight loss, because I'll be doing a great job Monday through Friday. My weight goes down consistently those 5 days. And then the weekend hits and I gain a little bit of weight over the weekend. And then Monday, I'm freaking out again because I've gained all this weight over the weekend, and I monitor or I pay attention to what I'm eating more on Monday and Tuesday, because I know I'm going to be weighing in on Wednesday and I want to have something to show for the effort that I'm putting into this work or this diet. And so I had started off Sunday and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to fast for the day on Sunday. And I think I got to about 2 or 3 p.m. and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like fasting anymore. And so I ended up having dinner, and I probably ate, I guess the advantage to it was that I don't know that I ate any more in the second half of yesterday than I would have normally, but I was able to not eat anything in the morning. And so what I'm trying to play around to figure out what is the most sustainable way to do this, and also the most the fastest way to get it done, I guess would be the best way to explain it. Um and so I am I was playing around with that. I thought maybe if I could just do a fast all day Sunday, and then it would help me lose that weight, or I wouldn't put that weight on. And then, like I said, I got through half the day and I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to be fasting the rest of the day. And so I ate. And then I kind of this morning just had a lighter breakfast than I normally would have had. I usually would have had oatmeal this morning with Ezekiel bread. And so I decided to just have Ezekiel bread this morning. And I guess that's what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to cut out like eating so much in the mornings or trying to cut back on what I eat early in the day because I don't know that it affects my eating later in the day. With the way I split my day up, I eat in the morning and then I go to work for 8 hours and then I come home and I kind of have this 2 hour, it feels like a binge, but it's really not a lot of calories overall. Generally, what I eat within that kind of from 5 p.m. when I get home till 7 or 8 p.m. at night. I think another thing that will help me is if I can finally get over having cashews and dehydrated mango in the house. If instead of snacking on dehydrated mango, if I was snacking on apples and bananas, that I would probably be eating less calories. Uh, and it wouldn't be, that dehydrated mango, when you take the water out of the mango, it just concentrates all that sugars. It makes that fruit even sweeter, and which in turn causes you to eat more of it and to eat more calories. So I need to go back to having apples and bananas being the kind of snack food I go to. And then the other snack food, the cashews, really are uh, not helping me at all. And it's tough for me to get rid of the cashews, but I have opportunities to have that nut flavor on with the Ezekiel bread. I can get rid of the cashews, still have the Ezekiel bread, and I'd save myself calories. But like I said, if I can cut back my morning meals as much as possible or try to eat uh kind of a lighter breakfast, I don't know that it would cause, when I get home, I'm hungry. Whether I have a big breakfast or I have a small breakfast, I will still get hungry when I get home. Um and I feel like that hunger is the same. I don't think that I binge more because I had less of a breakfast, and it's a lot of the binging or the food that I eat in the evening is uh is also not necessarily needed. It's because we have the snack food in the house. And Carrie said not having in those things in the house would also save us a ton of money. Yes, the dehydrated mango is almost $20 for a 2.5 pound bag. The cashews are, I think, $17 for a decent sized container. But yeah, they are a lot of money in comparison to like the rice. For the same amount of rice, it'd be like $4 as it is for those cashews. Um, I'm not, I haven't sat down and just kind of snacked on rice before. I don't know that I'm gonna, I've had rice as meals and I've had rice kind of outside of meal times, like with our mustard dressing. That's been pretty good. But um, and I think a lot of it is being in the house and having those temptations around. It's really hard to avoid, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. And even though cashews and dehydrated mangoes aren't the worst things in the world to have in your cupboards, having them there really it adds calories that I don't necessarily need. So we're gonna work on that. I finished off the bag of mangoes and the bag of cashews, so it's only a matter of us uh just not buying them. And Carrie says that she bought only snacks from Costco the other day, and the total was $55 for just snack food that I have, or I'm not the only one, I guess, but we have eaten through 37 of that for sure. And we probably have eaten through more than that at this point. Um, I'm going to try not look to the right because my hair's a mess and it's awful when I look to the right. Um, the, So yeah, I'm just trying to get a grip on it, like I'd love to be able to come in on Monday and the scale to be lighter than when I left Friday. It just isn't happening. And it's frustrating. Again, I can't let that frustration cause me to do anything too extreme too, though. Like that frustration was what got me to think about, fasting every Sunday. And it's just like, that's not maintainable. I didn't do this to find out I'm doing this to find out a way to maintain a steady weight loss and to eat. I've said this before. I wanted to find out how to eat like somebody who's 220 pounds. And I'm as close to that now as I've ever been, in that I'm able to eat that calorie. It was always about the calories. If I could figure out to eat the number of calories that somebody that's 220 pounds they eat in a day, then I would be able to get to 220 pounds eventually over time. And that's what I'm doing. But what I realize is how important that volume is and the calorie density is to that equation. It was never part of it for me before. I always thought that, well, I could eat Pringles and Kit Kats, and as long as I don't eat more than 2,000 calories of those items, then I'll lose weight. And that is true. That happens. It works. But that's only maintainable for a short period of time. Or if you're taking drugs to help suppress your appetite, you can do those types of things. But in our world of ups and downs and things happening, I needed to find a way to eat a sustainable amount of food where if I get frustrated one day or if I get like hungry and decide I want to eat a bunch of food, I don't wreck my diet because I'm eating a bunch of food. I'm just eating better foods. It's 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 the food, and it's always been the food that has been the problem. It's what I'm eating, not how much. I mean, well, for the most part. I could have cut back and eaten less food for the last decade, but it was really tough to eat less food because all of the food that is out there, not all of it, most of the food that is out there is designed to get you to overeat, to overindulge, to eat the whole bag. I bet you can't eat just one. Well, you know, that's uh that's true with potato chips, but you get a big apple, you're not going to be eating a bunch of apples, or you wouldn't eat the same calories in apples as you would as a bag of potato chips. Carrie says, so glad that you're coming to that conclusion. Fasting on Sundays felt like you were pushing too hard to have loss on the scale. Yeah, I want to have loss. I want to get on the scale. I want to celebrate every Wednesday having weight loss. And because it's so much more enjoyable for me to get in front of the camera and to have a weight loss versus a weight gain. But again, I can't let it, I can't let my short term goals out, those short term goals, like the effort I put into those short term goals, I can't allow that to sabotage my long term goal. And, that should be the slogan for mandarin oranges. I bet you can't eat just one. Yes, that's, I'd never grab just one mandarin orange, and generally it's two or three. I was trying to juggle them. My mom would love this story, but one year for Christmas, I was like, I want to learn how to juggle. So she bought me a juggling book, and I don't have, I'm sure it just takes a lot of practice. I didn't have the patience to figure out how to juggle, but yes, maybe I'll learn how to juggle mandarin oranges because I love eating three of them. Generally, what I grab, two or three. Can't eat just one though. They're not big enough. They're not. But anyways, um, yeah, I was so busy today, guys. I really feel bad not having more. The um, but yeah, so yeah, just letting the short-term goals sabotage the long-term goals. And that same thing, whenever anybody talks to me about fasting, if you're following because you like fasting, I would say that one of the things that I see people do with fasting that I think really screws them up is they continue to exercise or they increase their exercise load. They went from being a sedentary person to being like, I'm going to fast and I'm going to go do 2 half-hour walks every day. And a half-hour walk doesn't seem like it's a lot of working out and it's not a lot of effort. But if you were sedentary before that or doing no workout before that, then that's actually quite a bit of energy expenditure that you're not used to doing. And so you can let, the workout you do on day 2 of a fast can screw up day 5 because you need that energy still and you've used up all those stores. Um, and the and so yeah, it's been a challenge to not let my patience expire, you know? And I think that's happened to every diet I've ever done. And it's been mostly because the diets were set up to fail to begin because they were low calorie diets, they were restrictive diets, um they were boring, you know, and you would want, you know, I would get great results very quickly, you know, sort of like when I fasted. I mean, that's why I fasted. I wanted to get the results I wanted as quick as possible, and I figured that fasting would do that for me. And it did. Again, you can only fast for so long. You know, some people could go a day or two, but then um going going for a super long fast, you know, you can only, you know, I couldn't have fasted any longer than I did. I could have, but it would have been tough. And then you run into issues. Jackfruit watermelon, you're so inspiring. I'm on day 5 of another extended water fast and feeling great. Awesome. I know you from Instagram. You have an Instagram account. I follow your Instagram account. That's awesome. Jackfruit watermelon. You're doing an extended water fast. Yeah. You know, I know that you eat raw, I believe, or you eat all fruit, I think. And if I could do a water fast over again, the biggest thing I would tell people is you got to get rid of that excess like added sugar and the excess caffeine and things like that. There was so many like the dairy, you're addicted to that stuff before going in, and you get these headaches and things like that those first few days. And a lot of people blame them they call them fasting headaches. And it's like, well, they could be a fasting headache, but it's probably a caffeine withdrawal headache. And you're just blaming the fast because you've never gone 5 days without it. Um, yeah, if you check out my Instagram, it's actually on the screen. It's fasting, FAHSTING. Um, that's my Instagram. But I mostly just do YouTube. I don't understand Instagram, or I'm not good enough to post photos of myself and stay relevant on Instagram. Uh, Right, and then, yeah, you're agreeing it's so much easier to fast when those other addictions are gone. Yeah, that's really, the biggest advice that I would give people is to try to cut those things out a few days before you start your fast if you can. Um, go into your fast, trust your body, uh, don't get into working out. I know it's so tough, and I fasted for 40 days or 42 days, and I 100% believe I was only able to fast that long because I was so sedentary. I was 520 pounds. Started this, so I didn't. I mean, I would go from my house to my car to get to work, and then I didn't have to do a lot of walking around at work, and I'd go home and sit around, and so I was able to. I just kind of maintained that level of sedentariness, and I did another fast a few months after my long fast, and it was 9 days in or 10 days into the fast, and the weekend was coming up, and I was like, I don't want to sit on my ass all weekend. I want to go have fun with my kids this weekend, or I want to go do something. And I knew that if I did that, I would just have this crash. So I ended that fast earlier than I had planned, but I feel like I made the right choice. So, but yeah. And then as dumb as it is, I, uh, I loved watching people eat food. I would go on YouTube. And so for me, it was before I realized that I was going to become vegan. And so a lot of the people that I used to watch eat food were not eating food that I would ever consider eating anymore. But just the act of watching people eat kind of made it satiated that cravings that I would get. So those would be the recommendations I would give you. But yeah, 5 day water fast. That's awesome. I'm excited for you because it is nice to kind of do that. Well, and so just be careful when you refeed. But like I said, I know you're already on a pretty clean diet, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. How long are you planning on going? Do you have a goal for how many days you're gonna do if you're still watching? Um, so yeah, it was uh gosh, and now I got more people calling me. So You still watch Top Chef? Yeah. You love watching their techniques and their flavors. You've been vegan for 6 years and just you pretend it's vegan food. Yeah, I'm kind of yeah, I get that too, or you have to figure out something for that. You're trying to go at least 10. Your last was 25 days. That's awesome. That's really cool cuz um something also that I don't know if there's any scientific evidence or proof on this. But I do know that if if you're looking for recommendations for books to read, I would recommend reading The Pleasure Trap by Dr. Doug Lisle and Alan Goldhamer, or looking into any of the work that they do, because they are the ones that inspired me to eat a whole food plant-based diet after I fasted. When I went into my fast, I really didn't have a plan. I was like, oh, I'll do keto, maybe I'll do paleo. I'm just gonna eat clean, I'm gonna eat healthy. I went as far as ordering some really expensive ground beef that I was going to eat after the water fast. And then I found out about the True North Clinic and that they recommend a whole food plant based diet. And so I kind of follow their diet recommendations because they are, I think it's great. I love the diet. I love a whole food plant based, salt, oil, sugar free diet. But what I was going to say is that um, I think it's easier for guys to fast. I mean, it's just our species, as weird as it is physiologically adapted to be able to do water fast. There's other species of animals that if you water fasted them, they would die. Humans can actually water fast. But I believe that it is, at least from my experience with my wife and some of the other females I've talked to about water fasting, I think it's more difficult for women to do that. I don't know what, there's differences between men and women. I think that you can fast, but to do it for 25 days, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And and a big part of it's confidence. You've done a 25-day water fast. That's what, like, another thing I guess that I should have talked about too is that um when I did my 40-day water fast, I planned on doing a 30, and it wasn't the first time I've water fasted for 30 days. 2 years before I started this channel, I water fasted. I saw a bunch of people online that were showing how great they did. If you know who the fasting fat man is, that was a big inspiration for me when I did my fast 2 years ago. Um, and I had no plan when I got done. I was like, oh, I'll eat keto when I got done. I think I was at Burger King 4 days after I did a 30-day water fast. I was at the line at Burger King ordering food. And so I put all that weight on probably as fast as I lost it. And, but what it did for me was it gave me confidence. It gave me that confidence of knowing that I can survive it. I can go that long without needing food and I won't pass away. So, yes, you've read Herbert Shelton's Science and Fine Arts of Fasting, and it just felt like you knew the language. The only reason you stopped the 25-day was because your dog was sick, but you could have done more. Yeah, um, that is a big part. Like I said, a lot of people get those fasting headaches early on, and they use that as a reason to quit, which is fine. I will never ever uh what's the word I'm looking for? I will never talk down to, or I will never diminish somebody or feel negative about somebody because they stopped a water fast. I think that the worst thing you could do is to push a water fast beyond what you think is comfortable. I think it's just like punching yourself in the leg. You're only going to punch yourself so hard, but I think that, yeah, I think with a water fast, you can push yourself. I mean, there might have been moments where I kept going when other people would have quit, but I never put myself in a position that I was going to hurt myself. So, yeah. So whatever so don't ever feel bad about stopping a water fast, because I don't know. When I started this channel, my whole goal was to use water fasting to lose weight. I was going to be the water fasting guy, like that was going to be my thing. And now I think it's a great reset tool. It's a great opportunity to kind of make the change in your life, but to use fasting as your only tool, I think it's a mistake. I think it's just another tool in your belt. It's not the whole belt. So, um, yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So I'm glad you stopped in and kind of hung out on my channel today. So I appreciate it. Um, the oh, I should probably get out of here though. I plan on being on tomorrow. I hope I'm not near as busy as I was today. But I think that's going to be kind of my life for the next couple months. I'm going to be busy. So I I'll try to be a little bit more prepared tomorrow, maybe have a topic to talk about, something, we'll figure it out. But I'm going to get out of here today, guys. I appreciate everybody checking out my channel. And if you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up that's more important than taking care of your health and your overall well-being. Nobody gets to their goal, looks back and says, man, why was I in a hurry to get started? I should have waited. No, everybody says, I wish I would have started sooner. You've been dragging your feet for the last however long, months, years to get started. Get started right now. Nobody regrets it. And don't fall for the myths of moderation, the myth of moderate consumption, the idea that you can just eat less or anything in moderation is okay. It doesn't work. It's a trap because those foods keep drawing you back in. You may have just a little bit of this, just a little bit of this today. It'd be okay. But then that leads into a little bit of this every single day. Then it adds up and it starts to catch up to yourself. And the idea that you can eat half a plate of food and still be satisfied is not sustainable. You could do it for a week. You could do it for a couple months. But to do it for the rest of your life, it's not sustainable. And then the myth of moderate change is the idea that, I'll slowly add in these healthy foods before I'll have a salad before I eat dinner. And then eventually I'll just have all salad and then I'll get rid of the junk food. It doesn't work that way. You cannot, some people say it works that way. The number of people I see recommending that people do the change moderately, but then say, I didn't change moderately, but I think the best thing for you to do is change moderately. I can find examples of that all over the internet. Why would they recommend anything but what they did if they're talking about their success? And almost all of them said, I went cold turkey. I made the decision one time to cut out the junk food so I didn't have to fight myself anymore. I threw away all the junk food and I made that decision once. Everything I've done, stopping tobacco, stopping other things, I've done cold turkey. I just did it and I just didn't look back. So don't fall for that myth. You guys all have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. I don't have an end screen to go, so I'm just going to hit the end stream button.